Is it okay to eat?
Right in the middle of that camera. That's fantastic.
Right, exactly.
I'll say this is a really great restaurant.
Full time.
Yeah, we've over.
Good. Doing much again. How are you?
Are you recording live on live?
Yes, because he rarely gets on screen compared to how much it's
I just play Jack and Box to keep things going there.
Right.
The main thing is we get the story out. That's what this is all about.
Morning, Jill Coach.
Morning, Gaines.
Just trying to show a little respect.
Like your
What's
baseball
that?
shirt?
Trying to show a little respect, Mr. Jill Coach.
Probably should
Game
start out
master.
there and close those, you want to grab those.
Yeah, sure. I get it. I thought somebody else might see it.
Probably start out with some introductions. I think it might be the best thing to start with.
I'm Andrea, back it out. I own a small business here in town, and I'm part of the Human Main Street group.
What business do you own?
Roseburg Gardens. So it's a small micro farm. We do CSAs.
What's a CSA?
CSA is community supported agriculture. So essentially, people pay into a share, and in return they get a box for a certain set of weeks.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and with Sarah here, I also, yes, she is. I also co-own Larea Blossoms, which is a locally grown farmer florist.
Very neat for Kingman, isn't it?
Yes, it's fantastic.
I know, we're like big time.
I know the things that are happening here are incredible.
I know. I'm Beth Ferry, and I also am a small business owner, and I am part of Main Street.
Paul Gaines, and I have an aircraft business out at the airport, and also part of the Main Street group. My focus has been on the Art Alley project.
Very cool. And tell us more about the art alley. What's going on?
Well, we're going to probably go into a little bit in a minute. I think we have kind of
Okay, you're not ready. Okay. All right,
No, we're always ready.
How are you? Okay, except right now.
He's got a whole thing planned out for you.
Okay.
I'm Sarah Ferry, and I've been on this show a couple times.
Do you know Beth Ferry?
I do. Oh, Beth Ferry is my awesome mom.
Are we related?
Yes. She's pretty much my partner at everything. So
That's outstanding.
I have Southwest Trading Company and now Larea Blossoms, which has been so fun.
Yeah.
And I just joined Main Street, and I just think it's so cool. I'm so excited to be a part of it. So
What is Main
I'm
Street?
here.
Oh, what is Main Street?
Well, I'm the newbie. You guys want to go in a little bit on it?
Yeah, we will.
We're passing it right now to Beth. She's very well spoken.
Greg's ready just to jump right in.
I know.
He is.
Life is such a finite amount of
We
time.
gotta keep them on their toes a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
So we at Main Street, we are working under the kind of the model of the National Main Street Program. So our goal is to partner with downtown entities to encourage the downtown revitalization. And so we are currently partnering with the Beale Street Theater, and that's where the Art Alley comes in. So our goal is to help support them so that they can create the theater and open it up, which I think will ultimately be the soul of our downtown.
That'll be magnificent.
Magnificent, won't it? So so that's our goal, is to not be project driven necessarily, but to be the partners with these various entities, and it goes into all different kinds of different
So it's a
things.
big picture.
Yes, we want to be the big picture to pull people together so that we have kind of a unity down here.
So we're not duplicating work and
Yeah.
overlapping.
It's such a waste of resources.
Mhm.
Everybody's trying to do competing projects that do the same thing.
Absolutely.
And building a sense of community and community purpose is the key to what everybody's been doing here. Because Main Street is the hinge point.
Absolutely, and we've seen it be very successful in other communities, and we see that there's no reason why it can't be duplicated here with some really great outcomes. So that's sort of, we have a little here. Sorry, like to be really specific, our where did I put our little mission statement? Oh, here it is. So our mission is to make the heart of Kingman a vibrant center of economic and cultural activity by partnering with public and private stakeholders to rekindle community pride, capitalize on our unique physical assets and history, and encourage downtown revitalization and investment. So that's really our goal. So when you see all these different groups, we want to work with all these different groups, because so many times we would be the volunteer base, we would be the fundraising, that piece. And so our first partnership, our first big partnership, is with the Beale Street. And then I'm going to let Paul kind of talk about the art.
I was going to kind of buttress what she was saying, though, because there's so many individual groups, as Jim was pointing out, and they're all good things. They're all good causes. It's very fractured, and it almost seems like they're competing, which I guess as a result of them being separate, they are, but it's not really intentionally competing. So the whole goal of Main Street is to work with everybody, and we're not going to try to run any organization, but help them promote and help them exist better and work with to get the whole entire downtown really moving along in a good direction.
All hands on deck.
Yeah, we're not going to exclude anybody or anything. It's going to be partnering with every one of these entities. So.
When we started some of this, we can't go backwards. I mean, you've got to look at the past for lessons. What didn't work, why it didn't work, and then just go on, not worry about it. In 2014, when we hosted the Route 66 International Festival here, we coerced the Historic Electric Vehicle Foundation to establish their electric vehicle museum here. And at that time, the idea was to try to brand Kingman as the crossroads of the past and the future. It's kind of languished since, but what's happened in the last 3 or 4 years downtown is pretty extraordinary. And it's all done through building partnerships. That's how it's all been taking place.
Right.
This is the next step in that evolution.
And you can write your 20th book about that.
Your new book is fantastic. I love it.
Good, thank you.
Well, and because we are environmentally conscious here you go. That's your reusable water bottle.
That's for you, Jim, yes.
That's for you, Jim. And Greg, we can get you one too. I don't
It's
have
a
it.
very good
I know. But come by our booth and we'll have one for you.
So if you're strolling around First Friday this evening, then you should be using the bottle.
And Culligan donated water to fill all the water bottles too. So instead of having a ton of trash that we're making, we went out and got these water bottles. And it's part of our fundraising effort to raise money for the theater.
Wonderful. And
For the art in the alley,
Art
which
Alley
will
project.
benefit the theater after it's done.
where can somebody purchase one of those?
It'll be, this evening, right, at First Friday, in our booth. We have a Main Street booth, canopy set up right at the, kind of the nose of the locomotive, when it's down. That's where our area is going to be.
Fantastic.
And we'll have balloons and also raffle tickets for sale to raise money for the Art Alley project. And here's the
Ooh,
basket.
what's in that basket?
Someone has a list, and it's pretty extensive. I have no
I
idea. Okay, so Beth has the list.
All right, so our downtown businesses have been so supportive. We've got the Paw Spa. Jim Hinckley donated one of his books. Diane Cellar Door donated wine and a gift certificate. Southwest Trading Company donated a cutting board and bowl. Vagabonds donated a gift certificate and some honey sticks. Mojave County Museum donated a couple books. City of Kingman donated a Pendleton travel bag. That's a Wrap donated our body wrap. Shift donated a gift certificate. Imagine Photography donated a sizable gift certificate. Wet Dirt donated a tooth care kit. Sheer Timing is a beauty salon. They donated a gift certificate. Canyon State Educational Solutions, that's my company. We donated a gift card. Blackbridge Brewery donated a gift certificate. Calico's donated a gift certificate. El Palacio, Kingman CrossFit, Sirens, Floyd Company, Save on Beth, Treats, Beale Street Brews, they all donated gift certificates. Sisters Gallery is new to our downtown. They donated. Garlic Cloak donated. True North donated. I mean, it is.
There's another full page.
Yeah, it is.
That is mind-boggling.
It is. People are so excited about what's happening downtown, and they're excited about this project. It is opening up just another new. Oh my gosh! Can you just imagine when that theater is open? That's gonna be.
So much, and it bleeds over. If we, there again, that sense of community, it bleeds feeds into, we start linking them, developing the entire Route 66 corridor, and then we link that to what's going on with Old Plymouth Road with the airport, and we get this thing going.
Well, then it bleeds into our beautiful trail system. I mean, it's just really where, I know, Jim, you had talked previously that we need to make Hinckley a destination, not just a stopover, and this truly is a place where people would say, oh my gosh, I think I'm going to spend a few days in Kingman. There is so much to do.
If you make, one simple premise I have is that if we make a place nice, a place that people want to visit, in the same process as how we make it a place people want to live and retire and raise families, open businesses.
Yeah.
If it's worth visiting, it's worth living.
Right. So that's
I feel like maybe Paul should say a little bit more about what the art in the
I think
alley,
we should
because
talk
that's
about that,
really
yeah.
what we're fundraising right now. I think we're hoping that it will benefit the theater and help with the fundraising, but that is our fundraiser right now.
I'm really
is the art in
curious.
the alley.
Yeah, there's this started out when the Main Street group got together at Kingman Main Street. There were a lot of aspirations, a lot of projects we wanted to tackle, but eventually focused down to let's get one of them done and do it right. And it was art alley projects. So we targeted, if you will, we went around and looked at alley sections behind buildings that would be conducive to having a nice big pretty mural, and through a weird process we came down to the third, the Beale Street Theater's on 3rd, isn't that correct? 3rd and yeah, 3rd. So 3rd Street and Beale, and that's the theater. And there's an alley right behind there that's next to the parking lot that the city owns, the bus stop, and it kind of crosses the post office right there in that area. So you can see this building section from 66. When you're driving by, you can actually glance over and see it. So that was one of the big reasons we wanted to have it there.
What is that?
Yeah,
Let's stop.
and we want to have a lot of impact in Big Pal. So what we did is, how are we going to do this? So we formulated an idea with some of the local art groups and how we're going to promote and get artists interested in the project. So we had this packet together and started promoting local artists and getting online and even international. We got entrants from the Netherlands and someone from France, I believe. I can't remember what other. There was another a Middle Eastern country. I can't think of it right now, but it's been fantastic, the response we've had from Vegas and Phoenix, and a lot of local artists stepping up right now. We get about 3 entrants a week for the past 8 or 9 weeks or so.
And these are coming internationally.
Internationally, yeah, and we have the people at the what's the
Art Hub.
Center for the Arts.
No.
Or the Art Hub.
Yeah, Art Hub, excuse me, thank you.
Yes.
My mind was a blank. They're all stepping up. The resident artists there are now starting to do it. July 15th is the cutoff, so we're coming up against the cutoff date, and we've got a project total goal of $5,000, which covers a lot of materials and lodging and things like that, but there's a $2,500 prize for the person that's chosen to do the actual mural themselves. So, and we're having a committee that's going to pick the art here coming up after the 15th when all the submissions are in. And it's just been fun seeing all the different ideas and all the range of entrants that are from the bizarre, which is fun to look at, all the way up to, hey, that's really classical. We want to have a big impact. We want to have someone look over and have a big wow effect. That's something that's different and unique and special to where it draws you in. And this alley is really cool too, because there's some trees right there, and we thought for some other events at night, we could have the sparkle or whatever lights, these white lights in there to kind of light up that area, and even use the wall maybe that's behind whatever building that is that's next to the parking lot. You know what's that one?
No, it's the Graves, Elmer Graves
Old
building.
Trails Garage.
Yeah, and that side, so that's the technical stuff. And
Right.
the idea is to create a venue where we can throw a party. You know,
Oh,
so
everybody wants a party.
So the back of the theater will have the mural on it, and then Elmer Graves' beautiful building that just would make another awesome backdrop. So it would be the theater, and it would go along the parking lot there, and we would rent that space, or maybe they could let us use it for a fundraiser to just do a big party right there. And like you said, the twinkle lights in the trees, and it would just create a nice space for a venue to put out tables and have dinner or music, and then you don't have to close down the street, or so it just create a space that the community could share for fundraising purposes. And that's our kind of dream, is in the future to be able to have events that will benefit the theater.
Right, because this $5,000 amount is a chunk of money, but it's not near the money that the theater is going to need to remodel. And they're going to do some crowd funding and that kind of stuff as we go along. But to bring more awareness to the theater, once the mural is up in that space, we could show like a PowerPoint or slides with music, what the vision is for the theater and how it can look and all the events that can take place there, right in that space. And it's a wonderful wall, a nice clean wall to have that, and again have events or dinner and different fundraisers and just.
And we have so many beautiful days a year.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Can you imagine Shakespeare in the alley?
Dinner theater,
Right?
Oh, and the other.
Well, it's a story that would write itself. You can make it different every night.
The official unveiling is going to be during Andy Divine Days that weekend, the end of September, right? The last weekend of September, and that's when the artist will be there for 2 weeks prior, painting it all, and hopefully on that big weekend we'll have the unveiling of the mural. Everybody's going to know what it looks like anyway because you can't hide it.
Cover it up.
Right? It'll be having a media event and have people come around and really recognize it at that point. So.
Nice.
And these tickets are $10 a piece, and it's well over $1,000 now, the prize. And so all of that money is going towards this Art in the Alley project.
Right.
Outstanding.
So that's what the Art Alley, yeah. So, but then as Beth pointed out too, the Main Street's not really project oriented, but we wanted to kick it off with that, and then now bringing the community together, these different groups, no matter if it's a car club or art or whatever it is, event or anything going on downtown with the theater group, to help promote them and just recognize that we are with everybody to better the entire community downtown.
More of an organizer and a supporter rather than just our own project.
Right.
Yeah.
Because when everybody benefits, everybody benefits.
Everybody benefits.
Look
Exactly.
at, like Jim, look how many people have donated to this raffle.
That's a show of community. And one of the hardest obstacles to overcome, and you're doing it with Main Street right now, and that is evidence. People are burned out. I've heard all of the gum beating and all this other stuff for years. And the secret is to get one project, bring it to fruition, the art. We can complain all day whether it's in the right location, overpriced, or anything else. It doesn't matter. It's up. It's done.
Yeah.
Let's promote it. Let's use it. The same with the art.
I'll have to admit, I was a little bit skeptical of the arch in the beginning. I thought, okay, that's okay, but maybe we could do this or this. Now that it's there and now it's got all the attention, you can drive underneath it. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
I like it more than I thought I would. So I was in not necessarily a camp, but now
Do you have any theme that you're asking the artist for the mural, or are you letting them kind of a free spirit?
It's, I was told from a local artist that what artists really want is money and freedom. So
It's a good combination.
So on that theme, so okay, here's the prize and express yourself and what it is. We're getting range from desert themes all the way up to abstract. So we haven't really given them guidance exactly, and there's been a lot of discussion on maybe we should give them more guidance or should have, but we just kind of threw caution to the wind, and it's interesting so far. So when we do another one, we'll see how it goes. But they're also part of the deal is once we pick them, they have to work with the committee in case there's something on there that really shouldn't be on there.
The other thing is, now you're going to have a pool of mural artists.
Right.
I'm just going to throw this out there. Kind of neat on the back of the theater to have a mural about King's rich cinema history.
Well, that's true. There are a lot of,
Only about 2 dozen major motion pictures here.
That's right, exactly right.
And I
Yeah.
think that was a major thing for us. We didn't want just a 66.
Right.
Just 66 symbolism, because we're so much more than that.
Exactly.
And we want to show people.
It's just another spoke in the wheel that is King.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What happens when a lot of communities, Route 66 communities, wake up to the potential that Route 66 represents? They do have a tendency to get myopic, and that's all they see. And it's not the idea. Route 66 is the way you introduce people to your community, and then you show off what makes your community unique.
Right.
You don't want to get so narrow-minded you can look down a beer bottle with both eyes. It's just not good.
Well, people don't want to drive down and see the same thing along 66.
No.
Like the towns that really stand out have something very unique.
Yeah, they use it to showcase what makes it special to you.
It's so cool. I love being on 66. I just think it's so cool, and I love having my shop right here. I love all the different people from all over the world that it brings, and It's just so cool.
Well, the arch has also opened up doors to the Beale Street business, because now people are not going to be automatically routed through Andy Devine, which is great, but they tend to then stop at the Powerhouse, and that's kind of where they end up stopping. So if they want to go under the arch and see, now all of a sudden they've got a couple different
And then
avenues.
they can loop back to Route 66.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's cool. I didn't know about the placement, but really, it was really brilliant when you think about it, because you do get off of the freeway, and without knowing that we have this downtown here, you would naturally get onto 66 and cruise, stop in at the visitor center and think that's all Kingman has to offer and go on your way. And now it just really is cool, because you sit there at that stoplight and you can just see. It really is a gateway. It really does lead you.
And I think Christina Michelson mentioned, or someone else did too, that it's already worked. The people that saw it, and they've already come through there, and then they kept going. It's already worked to draw people into further on down the road.
You know, I get in trouble
Expenses.
when I've asked this for about 10 years. I don't have any historic proof, but it makes sense. One of the things I've envisioned for downtown I'd like to see is in the late 1940s, early 50s, a lot of those communities, like you can see it, Holbrook, Winslow, Williams, they took Route 66 from a two-lane corridor on one street to two one-way corridors. And this was done about that time, the Beale cut, El Toro being cut through the hill, and then Beale Street. And what would happen, I wonder, if we transformed Beale Street into one-way westbound, and Andy Devine one-way eastbound, and then changed your parking from parallel to diagonal parking on Andy Devine. You would double your parking plus facilitate some traffic flow.
And switch the direction every month.
Don't, just for confusion.
Yeah.
Then you can increase money with tickets and revenue.
Everybody
And
wins.
the body shops will do well.
I think
I
that's
have a mirror on the side of my car.
I think you should contact Kingman Main Street and talk about that as a project.
It's all you know, right?
If you get them all, get them here, yeah.
We talked about that. But just a thought,
Yeah.
it would change things a lot, and
Right.
it works well in Williams. Nobody's had any problems.
I see it all the time in other
Yeah.
small areas.
And having two one-way corridors, we've got the wide enough streets, and change the parking on Andy Devine, that would resolve a lot of your parking problems downtown.
It's a great idea.
Really wide streets,
We
actually.
can
It's
move our
impressive.
parking out and put a little bike path right there in the middle of it, so people aren't riding behind the cars.
Because there would be enough room there.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. This is kind of
Yeah,
riding behind the cars in these parallel park.
yeah, that's.
Well, tonight really is the big kickoff, isn't it, for Main Street?
Yeah.
It's a
This
big,
is
yeah.
Big event tonight downtown.
Yeah.
And this is, I like to think this is gonna be really the kickoff for everything you're doing here.
We are really excited about this, and it's a great way to start. We've got a lot of people who are helping with this project. Paul has been a big, huge promoter of this, and so we're piggybacking on all his hard work and such. But we have a lot of people who have come out to say that they want to be a part of Main Street, and so I think we're excited about that.
This is another thing that, that this first Friday is another thing that Main Street is teaming up to help with the organization and volunteering and promoting. And so that, I'm really excited about that, because I'm one of the few businesses, and it grew to more of the downtown business, and everybody really working together. So it's neat, but we're still figuring it out and getting organized. And so I'm excited to have more volunteers that are willing to help us, and to get our applications online. We talked about having a link from the Main Street where people can go, if I'm a vendor, because that's been confusing for people, how do I sign up? Just having a link on the page for First Friday, possibly doing some fundraising for First Fridays, you know. So, and I decided to team up with Main Street because I think a lot of these, you guys know I participate in a lot of different groups and everything, and I see a lot of, everybody has really great intentions and really great ideas, but a lot of people are kind of spinning their wheels because we don't have that structure,
You don't have the structure, the organization, and pooled resources.
Yeah, and they have a lot, they have so much research with this, what do you call it?
the National Main Street.
Yeah, the National Main Street group has done so much research on community mindset and how to like get people involved and take pride in the community and all these things, and it's been proven to work over and over and over again. So we're not all reinventing the wheel. We can, you know, that's what I'm hoping is we can just kind of help facilitate anybody that wants great things to happen downtown, to have this structure.
And this way you get a chance to learn from their mistakes already. They already made all those mistakes.
Yeah.
You mentioned having links to these things. Steve Lesueur's been really developing, working with him a little bit on that new Kingman Tourism initiative that he's launched.
Right.
KingmanTourism.com.
Oh, that's
Right.
so cool.
With interactive maps, and then we could probably get with him and find a way to tie this together with that.
We do want to do that.
Yes.
And even this podcast that you do, Jim, you know, I mean, that would be great to have on the Kingman Main Street, have a link with your podcast right on there, you know, so that
Great
people
idea.
can kind of go to a one-stop and then see within that all these wonderful resources that are, and
The whole reason we do this is strictly to create community awareness
Mhm.
and let people know what's going on
Right.
in these parts. Are you aware that I'm surprised that there hasn't been any real publicity here in Cayman, but National Trust for Historic Preservation, they're working with National Geographic, they're doing the Route 66 media tour right now, and I've worked with them. I can't remember the date. It'll be here in about a week.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to stop at the Powerhouse, Grand Canyon Caverns, and they've got a full media tour they're doing.
wow,
Awesome.
wow.
It's good to maybe get a little with you on that. I'm sure you'll be speaking with them a lot, or working with them on this as they come through.
Yeah, I hope
You'll
so.
be the face of that, which is neat.
I helped work on that with the Roadhead Partnership.
And by the way, speaking of links on the website, there's a link on there for art alleys. If any last minute muralists want to enter with their concepts, it's there at KingmanMainStreet.com.
I will get you, when we finish today, I'll get you Greg Payne's information and Ray Harvey of Missouri. Greg
Yeah.
Payne is a local Kingman boy and grew up here. His family still lives in Chloride. And he ran the city beautification projects in Santa Cruz for many, many years. Now he's in Prescott. He wanted to come back to Kingman and do some murals.
Ooh.
So this is just the beginning. Yeah, hopefully this is will be a success, and then we'll have target some other buildings, work with some other people to have this, as well as perhaps the community garden thing and other projects we want to have come together. But this is not where it's going to end.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, this is the beginning.
Yeah.
It's not the end.
Well, and then another piece that we want to bring together are the residents who live in the downtown area who are also kind of witnessing this wonderful revitalization, but they want to have a voice as well, you know, because they're homeowners.
It's their community.
Yes, exactly.
And
So we
everybody's
wanna-
seeing their property values go up.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
that
So we
part.
want to, you know, kind of bring in that community pride, and that it's
Sure.
a place where you can be involved, you know, with different activities going on, but you can also live here as well.
This is really exciting and dynamic. And, you know, another thing I'd like to mention though too is we've got one of the things that, speaking of myopia, we've got to be careful that we don't just focus too much on downtown, because we should include the entire Route 66 corridor. And we're starting to see that too with Rutherford's and some of the other things. Now the Hilltop Motel.
Right.
I mean, we've got some very, very unique properties that, as far as I know,
Right.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
one of my favorites that I'd like to really see something done with is the old White Rock Court next to the Arcadia Lodge.
Oh.
The World Monuments Fund listed the Route 66 motels as some of the most endangered properties. And pre-war auto courts, the ones that still have the garages, are among the rarest, because the ones that survived became flop houses. And in the 40s and 50s, they then closed the garages to make extra rooms, so they're very rare. And then the rarest of all are pre-war auto courts that were listed in the Green Book for the Negro motorists. And less than 1% of those properties have survived.
We have one here, I think. It's like
White Rock Court.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
How many of these auto ones are we talking about do we have here too? How many number?
Just one.
Just one.
Yeah, but
Okay.
we lost the Bell Motel, as you know, or that Stone Motel. But this is another asset, and I'm glad to see the Hilltop coming together. We have some of the largest concentration of historic hotels in any community on Route 66. Siesta from 1929 all the way up Quality Inn was a 1964 Ramada. And we've got the Arcadia's 1939, White Rock's 1936, the El Trovador's 1939.
Yeah, even the airport being on 66 for World War II, that was a big push, and it's a very large asset the city has. And there's going to be, speaking of it, there's going to be an Airfest October 6th
Yes.
out there that we're organizing, which happens to be the same weekend as the Oktoberfest here downtown. It's the same weekend, and so it's that's a lot of planning that we're doing right now. It's going to be fantastic, but that's really cool. It's on 66 as well. I mean, that's a neat thing, which is pretty far away from downtown, but it's on the edge and it's all part of the city.
Yeah, it encourages continuity between them. I really was glad to see that the city's wanting to do something with control tower.
Yes.
Because that's another very, I think there's 4 of those.
Yeah, and we're going to try to we're working with Mr. Kellogg out there to maybe have a new, the only problem with it right now is the flooring. It's wood, and it's what's unsafe. I've been there up there a couple times. But the thought is, right now, nothing's official yet, to try to get that part renovated enough or restored so during the Airfest in October, people could actually go up there and visit and stand up there as it was in the 40s, early 40s, when all the B-17s were out there and everybody's being trained to oversee the airport. That would be fantastic. This is something you don't get to do.
When is the Airfest?
It's October 6th, Saturday, October 6th. Yeah.
This is all going to be on KingmanMainStreet.com
Yes.
for all this information. Good.
And we're on Facebook too, and we plan on posting all our events and with our shared partners, and so we really want to be kind of a promotion board for everyone.
And just ask them, go to these different groups and ask them what do they need, where have they been lacking maybe. They haven't had a face or a social media person to go out there and really help them be successful with their little events. Just go to them, help us help you kind of thing.
Another partnership that probably would be of interest and tie in with this is Scott Dutton's Route 66 Association of Cayman. They've been just kind of quietly raising funds and doing things here, but a lot of their focus, he's got a graffiti cleanup project. A lot of people aren't aware of. A business can call Scott. They've got,
that would be really great.
He's been doing it for 2 years, but just quietly, he's got a painter on staff. He's got a deal with True Value. You can just call them up. They don't have the graffiti cleaned up for businesses. And of course, the neon sign initiatives that he's been working probably on. And they're going to need some money. They're working with Legacy Signs. They acquired the Brandman Motel sign. You've seen it down at Legacy Signs. Pulled that out of a restaurant in Phoenix. The Brandman is still here. Motel, it's now apartments. And then we've got the City Cafe sign, Imperial Motel sign. Those are all going to need to be restored. And one of the initiatives I've worked with other communities on, we talked about here with this, if the signs are gone, we can recreate them in 1/2 and 3/4 scale to line the streets and
Okay.
I love that.
create a mural park.
See, this is
That'd be
something
really
too that
fun.
this is obviously not our wheelhouse. We can help promote that too. This is one of those things like, you guys got this, but we'll get the word out.
Yeah, they're again the partnerships. What it's all about.
Well, and the fact is that we're going to be using neon signs kind of as part of Kingman along the roads. Then it seems ridiculous that some other group would think, well, we want to put this on the sidewalk too. Well, we want to put this on the sidewalk. It'd be nice to have sort of a theme. Yeah, something cohesive. So if it's going to be the neon sign thing all along the way,
That and murals.
Yeah.
The way this is set up, and the way it was supposed to be done, we finally got one up. But if you look at the Desert Drug sign, it's got a plaque at the base. And the idea when we started, we set this up in 2014, we're going to have the Route 66 Walk of Fame, murals, and neon to try to facilitate foot traffic and the shadow galleries that we talked about, using the empty storefronts to showcase artwork.
Right.
But even if the building's gone, the idea is to have something there that shows it in context. With the Desert Drug, we've got a picture of it where it was at, and we need a little bit of history of the Desert Drug. And that facilitates foot traffic downtown. Is the whole idea. But you tie that in with murals, and makes for a nice, pleasant historic district.
Right.
I think we're getting there.
All we need is a well-paid tour guide.
Right, thank you, exactly.
We won't go down that road.
That's a whole other show.
Yeah, that's another show.
Well
We'll be
fed.
That one revolves, that one's going to need some bourbon.
I don't think that's a problem, really.
That's another thing is everybody knows when you volunteer in something and then you also volunteer in another group, that's what we're short on. We're short on people to volunteer, really, you know? I keep on realizing, wow, these are all the same volunteers in every group, and people get really burnt out. So I just love the idea of having a group where, you know, even just for volunteer manpower, you know, come, set up, take down, pick up trash, how can we help you in that way? You know, I think that would be really helpful.
Yeah, Main Street could develop a pool of volunteers, if you will. So here's, if you want to do some volunteering for whatever is coming up, then this could be the resource for people to say they're
I
available.
think you're going to see that tonight. I think you've laid the groundwork enough. You've got the success. You've got the passion. I think you're going to see people where you can actually ask to volunteer that really will volunteer.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, that's a good idea, you know, we should ask, but put out and leave us sign up sheet for that.
We're gonna have an email sign up sheet, I believe, there. That's part of the plan.
Okay.
Also, Main Street is open.
I apologize.
Who is calling you at this hour?
Oh, Shorty is.
Hi, Shorty.
My landscaper.
It's open to everybody, you know, anybody that wants to be a part of it and volunteer. The next meeting is on July 12th here at 6 p.m. at Calico's. And so it's open to anybody that wants to be part of it. And I love it. It's just such a completely positive thing. I'm really excited, you know.
You know, especially the people that comment, and they're welcome to come and post, speak their comments and
Right, and then you can get feedback.
Absolutely, yeah.
Open to dialogue.
Yeah, absolutely. We're open to ideas. We know we don't have all the answers, but we are doing our best as volunteers to put our heads together and figure it out. So.
Well, guys, thank you for doing this morning. I hope everybody will turn out downtown tonight. I think it's going to be. The Route 66 cruisers are going to be down there. They've got lots and lots of cars. They're bringing in.
Oh, that would be great.
And we've got a lot of promotion for this in Bullhead, Havasu, and it looks like there's going to be some good
So it's officially it's the lighting of the arch, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what it really is. It's gonna have cupcakes, I understand, like
Victoria Sugar Shack.
it's supplying that.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
My gosh, 1,000 cupcakes.
Or
1,000
something.
cupcakes?
Oh my
Or
God.
hundreds, I don't, at least.
I thought it said 1,000, and
Yeah,
I was
me
like,
too.
holy mackerel.
It's at least 4 or 5 cupcakes. Minimum.
Well, our booth is
Minimum
right at the
4.
front of all the food.
Yeah, it's gonna be there, and then they're gonna
Yeah.
are they having some water
exactly.
slides and stuff for kids too?
You go back with a mustache, you're like, pardon me, I like my first cupcake.
There's going to be water. I think there's going to be a few water slides and bouncy house type things. There's going to be, I always set up a little toddler park so the little guys don't get completely plowed over by the big kids. That's kind of my...
Keep them corralled.
It is. It's a
Bigger.
corral where you put a bunch of balls in there and you just put your babies in there, watch them, because I'm not babysitting.
That's not part of tonight's Main Street initiative.
Yeah, leave your babies with
We'll
us.
have our tickets for sale there.
Oh, this one's cuter, I'll take that one.
Yeah. It adds to our raffle.
The other thing we can do with this, you know, I always try to, a little inspiration for this, but when you start doing these things, it's a community, and getting that vision, it's astounding how it snowballs and what happens. And because we're on Route 66, we get to cheat over communities like Apache Junction or others, we get promotional opportunities. Right now, Cinnamon Toast Crunch Cereal is doing a Route 66 tour, stopping at different places, handing out cereal along the road. Big promotion. And Pontiac, Illinois is one of my favorites, and I'll be meeting with Scott McCoy this coming week. He's a former mayor in Pontiac that started the really push there. Now, I can't remember the exact numbers, but basically 10 years, they went from a 98% vacancy rate in their historic district to about a 1%.
Oh, wow.
And this is a town of about 12,000 people. PepsiCo is kicking off new Lipton tea brands for the summer. And they were going to do this as a great American road trip in San Francisco, different places. Bob Russell, the mayor of Pontiac, and the city got wind of this. They made a real big pitch to PepsiCo, and they decided to change that to a Route 66 PepsiCo tour on the
Nice.
and they'll be here in a week.
Yeah.
So we've got them set up at West Side Lilos and Seligman. But to show you the scope of what happens when you start doing this, Lipton did this 2-day event in Pontiac. They came in and created a mural for the city, and they had 24 radio stations doing live broadcasts, television stations, And Lipton Tea handed out 100,000 bottles of free tea in 2 days in a town of 12,000 people.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we've got great.
And we're on the cusp.
Yeah.
We're on the cusp of seeing
I
those
think
kind of
so
things
too.
happen here. Because of what you guys are doing, this right here.
Well, it's kind of what you're doing too.
Right.
You've been
Yeah.
up against this windmill for.
Yeah.
It's a team effort.
Yeah.
And as far as windmills, yes, my wife says I have a Don Quixote syndrome.
What we just envision is looking at all the different organizations that have been working so hard to do something down here, and we just envision, okay, we can just help pull it all together.
Exactly.
That's it, so that everybody is not working,
Against each other.
yeah, or in different directions, or in isolation, really.
Yeah, because that just wastes resources, time and
Exactly.
money, and frustrates everybody, and then the volunteers burn out, and nobody's happy.
Yeah.
Jim, I've got to run. I got another meeting at the airport
We
actually
gotta
right
finish this
now.
up, but thank you guys for doing this morning.
You're paying for my bill because I didn't bring my wallet.
I-
Sorry,
yeah.
Dad.
I'm
You
paying.
get more meals that way.
That's right. Gotta go.
That was good. Paul.
Did you
We'll
like
see.
that?
We'll see you tonight, Jim.
It's
I won't
Julie's,
make it, but I'll get it done.
Okay.
it's
Guys, thank
Julie's
you very
first.
much. And it's KingmanMainStreet.com.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Except you know me, so you'll taste me.